Bonjour.
Hello. Здравствуйте.
Hello.
Welcome. We're very thankful for your presence here with us.
This month is the month of languages. Our goal is to become acquainted with several languages.
A lot of classes participated in this project, like Spanish.
En el caso de español, encontramos los autores españoles de los libros españoles de niños.
As well, we can remember the week of the Georgian language.
Вировали дост чатардаран денime концерти авторитан шехведра да atelier.
And now, with the English class, we're doing this event.
This event will include 9 speeches, all from our classmates. These speeches will be in 5 different languages. English,
Русский,
en français.
In Deutsch.
As well, the speeches are divided in 3 different groups. Every speech will be trying with a different game. Please listen to them very carefully, and you will find out all about them. You can expect some activities during the event.
As you can see, we've got some security guards.
in case of disturbance, we won't be responsible for consequences.
So let's give them a chance to present themselves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be your security guards. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would such a safe event need security guards? But danger can strike at any moment, so we'll be here to help you. The things we'll do to make sure that this is a safe event, we'll observe all surroundings. We'll make sure that the perimeter is secure, and we'll check for suspicious behavior.
Do you guys have any passions?
How is that relevant?
Well, one of the 3 groups will actually talk about their passions.
About dumplings, baking, and fashion, right?
Exactly, all of them in English.
Alright, let's wait for them to come up.
Please welcome Anna.
Later, Sandro.
And finally, Lizi.
Their theme will be triumphed by a game. Carefully listen to the speeches and we will get a chance to win.
Even we will participate.
What does baking mean? Baking is a method of preparing food by using dry heat. It is typically done in an oven, but it can also be done on hot stones or hot ashes. During this process, heat is transferred from the surface of a pastry to the center and is therefore cooked. But what does baking mean for me? I can start out by stating that baking is a hobby, it's a diversion, it's a passion. It can be different for everybody, but to me it is something very meaningful. To me, it is not only time spent in the kitchen, but a chance of generosity, serenity, and simple fun. This whole process can be enjoyed from the beginning to end. It starts out with the grocery shopping, picking out the right ingredients, the fresh fruits, and the ripe vegetables. We stroll around the supermarket, enjoying the rush of a full one or enjoying the peace in an empty one, taking notice of the quality of the ingredients that surround us. This beginning is based on appreciating all the details of all the ingredients that surround you. We then walk home with ingredients we can be very grateful to have and look forward to everything they could become. We then proceed to a sensory experience, meaning our senses are stimulated. As we know, while we cook, we touch, we observe, we hear, we smell, we taste. Because of this, I like to think I'm in full contact with myself, seeing how my brain and body stay active as I handle the ingredients and measurements with care and an attentive eye. Call me a masochist, but I particularly enjoy how my senses are heightened while I am on edge and stressed as I'm cooking. It's not always easy and calm. It can be stressful in a quite exciting way, but I think that just makes the results more valuable. We all enjoy working hard for good things, I assume. This is just like that, seeing how we put in time, effort, and emotions into making a savory meal, a tasty treat, a sweet dessert, and so on. Another great aspect about this part, the cooking part, is that it's different each time. We feel different, we do things different. Sometimes we're alone in a room, chopping and moving. Other times we're in a room full of people and everything is alive with music and taste test. Also, we can do it in the morning, afternoon, or night. These variations make it impossible to get bored of in something and an exciting way to pass your time. And once we put it in the oven and let it bake, what do we do while we wait? Well, first of all, we take a breath, we clean up and settle down. We wait patiently and to enjoy the fruit of our hard work. Baked food and generally anything we cook can be shared with people we love. That's the thing about cooking. We get to cook for our loved ones, and we make great memories in doing so, taking the opportunity to take pride and pleasure in their reactions. Cooking is such a big part of life. Cooking meals from our home country and from our culture gives us a sense of home. Cooking meals we loved as children is so important because we get to feel like little kids again. We remember the first time we ate something we still love today, in my opinion, I do. And we can associate flavors to moments, to people, to colors, and to so many things. Because of this, I like to think cooking brings people together and rarely ever apart, with the exception of pineapple and pizza, maybe. Cooking reflects the heart, said someone once, and this quote throws around in my mind often. When I cook, I hope my affection is reflected in the same meal, as I believe that cooking and baking are ways of showing affection without having to say a word. You let your hands do their thing, you make the dish as it should be, and you hand it over on a plate like gloves on a platter. That is what baking is to me. It's saying what I can't say with words. It's somewhat a language of its own. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, hold on. I need to chill. Hold on.
Chill.
So, I come here today to talk to you about an encounter that I had that changed my perception of something that's very important to me. So I was walking down the street one day, going on my way home, and see an old guy. He looked like a raisin, really. He was really dusty, and he was going,
"Come here, boy. Come here. I know you want some of this information. Come here, boy. Your face looks like a dumpling."
I looked at him. I was really confused. And I was really scared because, for one, it's creepy, and for two, it's because I don't have a good relationship with old Georgian men. You know, I'm going on the bus, I'm looking around, there's some old guy. I don't really care though. Right, but I tested my luck because there was just so much passion in the way he was calling me over with his brittle chicken wing fingers going. Okay, I go over, and the man just started talking. He went from to great pleasure that I present to you all today the glory and the marvel of the most fantastic thing in the world, dumplings. The only dish that presents a culinary, historical, cultural, and even military richness. These bundles of ecstasy flood the mouth with a mind-shattering flavor. Their exquisite roundness prompts us to devour it. Meat, cheese, or even potatoes, the almost infinite variety of ingredient combinations is designed to satisfy our most gourmet desires. How could you resist the delectable tastiness of dumplings. Nothing compares historically to these bundles of joy. 1700 years ago, a Chinese poet, Xiu Xi, wrote about making dumplings. It involved taking meat, pork meat, mutton, lamb, and wrapping it in a delicate dough, and then dipping the whole thing in an appetizing sauce. 1600 years ago, the Epictetus, a Roman cooking manuscript, contains a similarly detailed formula for dumplings. Tell me, what other dish can you think of that is found in such ancient, rusty, dusty, wrinkly manuscripts and is still eaten today? In a vast majority of countries, one can even find variations of dumplings. Manti, chinkali, bouz, pelmeni, ravioli. Before I finish this colossal list, a new day would have already begun. Finding a planet full of life would be much more simple than finding a region without its own dumplings. But why? Well, these culinary geniuses simply realized that a bowl of dough filled with any kind of ingredient is the champion of all foods. Finally, and I may surprise you all again, dumplings can be transformed into a real weapon. A weapon capable of war, of combat. At first, soft and delectable. When frozen, dangerous. A guy in Germany, Munich, his name was Helmut G. He saw this incredible destructive potential and completely fed up with the incessant buzzing of military planes over his house, he decided what any rational man would do. He built an anti-aircraft cannon with his own two hands. And he used frozen ravioli as ammunition. And he shot at them, he was like, and the pilots were scared. Oh my God, these dumplings, Jesus Christ! No, I'm lying. It was more like, nothing really happened. They were fine. A dish that satisfies, that fascinates, and that feeds people. Dumplings, a true marvel. And when that man, that old guy, finished speaking, I was quite surprised because he didn't sound like an old guy. And because he was talking to no one other than, it seemed like he was talking to a bunch of people, really. So, I realized that dumplings really are the pinnacle of all food. It's really good. I don't know why you're looking at me like that.
Hello everyone. I have decided to talk about fashion today because fashion is in direct correlation with self-expression. And expressing yourself in the right way is one of the most crucial abilities to know in life. Fashion is not only about what you wear, it's about why you choose to wear it. For example, I can look at a person's outfit and in a few seconds determine what kind of personality they have and what is their lifestyle. Are they an introvert or an extrovert? Are they quiet or chatty? Are they confident or rather insecure? Because believe it or not, the way you choose to dress can create certain impressions about you, yourself, and your life. What you wear is how you present yourself to the world. Especially today when human contacts are so quick, fashion is instant language. A quote from Miuccia Prada. The well-known head designer of Prada thinks that, so who am I to disagree? I also want to say that fashion is not only about designer bags, dresses, and shoes. It's about how confident you feel while wearing certain things.
It may not seem like a big deal, but in fact, what you choose to wear can determine how confident you will be. Me, myself, when I wake up in the morning and I choose an outfit to wear for the rest of the day, I choose it based on how good I will feel in that particular outfit. And that simultaneously ameliorates my mood for the rest of the day. And that's why it's so important to find a style that is right for you, so that you can always feel good and secure in yourself when it comes to your sense of fashion. Being different does not mean that you do not have a good sense of style. People have always had different preferences when it came to almost anything in life, and that's why it's okay not to dress like everyone else if you don't think that that is right for you. I also want to clear up a popular misconception about why we wear what we do. I think I speak for every female in this room when I say that what we wear it for ourselves and for our own liking. Men tend to assume that certain clothes are only worn for the sole purpose of getting their attention, and they have never been worn wrong in their lives. The fashion designer Betsy Johnson expresses her opinion about this matter by saying, girls do not dress for boys, they dress for themselves and for each other, of course. If girls dress for boys, they just walk around naked all the time. To conclude, I want to say that fashion has no sets or rules or standards. You can dress however you want as long as you feel comfortable and confident in what you're wearing. I want to repeat that fashion is self-expression, and everyone expresses themselves in a different way. And that's what makes fashion interesting. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna have a little activity here now. So, as you can see over there on that table with the giant mess on it, you have 2 cardboard boxes with a bunch of quotes in them. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one quote and you're gonna smash it on those pieces of tapes you find on the walls everywhere, but to the speech that you think it corresponds to. So, for example, you have, I don't know, dumplings. Where would it possibly go? You're gonna put it in dumplings.
Do you want me to read one?
Yeah.
Enjoying the rush of a full one. Was that fashion? Was that dumpling? Or was that baking?
Baking.
Baking.
Baking. No.
Enjoying the rush of a full one. I slap it on the baking board. Yeah. Alright, that's what you do.
And the game as well. Do you guys like baking?
After Aaron's speech, how could you not like baking?
What about dumplings?
Dumplings is the best thing I ever do.
Which countries do dumplings do you prefer?
You know Hinton?
Of course you do. And what about fashion?
Well, Lizi's speech showed us that fashion is not just a piece of fabric you wear. It actually shows your personality in a lot of ways.
And you, Musa?
Fashion became different for me.
Well, now there's another group of people who are actually waiting to share their speeches with you guys.
They're all related with the same thing, which is psychological.
And they will even have fun activities like the first theme, so pay attention, please. Please welcome Defne. She will talk about struggles of anxiety, and it's a very personal story.
Then we'll have Ioane, who will talk about murder. Not really murder, crime and punishment, his favorite book.
And then we'll have Davis, who will explain to you why it's okay to not be perfect. And even though she's not in the country, she still worked really hard to present these speech to you guys.
Please welcome Defne on the stage.
Vous vous souvenez peut-être de ces enfants qui, encore jeunes, ne craignaient point la mort. La mort qui pourtant ne regarde guère à l'âge des habitudes. Cet enfant, c'est vous. Oui, vous vous moquez de vos parents et de vos grands-parents dans l'état où semblait si lointain, et dans l'envie de trouver cette fontaine de jouvence vous paraissait si belle. Vous vous demandiez pourquoi et vous regardez parfois avec convoitise lorsque vous vous élancez dans une course sans aucune arrière-pensée. Vous vous questionnez sur ce qu'est beau. Si c'était de se contenter de ce qu'on est encore capable de faire, d'éviter d'avoir son cœur brisé, son âme troublée. Ou peut-être, vous êtes de ceux qui ont su très tôt qu'il règne dans ce monde un équilibre inaltérable. Vous êtes de ceux qui ont ressenti le bourdonnement de la vie, tout aussi fort que le murmure de la mort. Vous êtes comme la petite Félicité. Et moi, je suis là pour vous raconter son histoire. Félicité était une fille dont émanait de la lumière et une grande joie. Elle se sentait si légère qu'elle était convaincue qu'elle pouvait s'envoler telle une plume emportée par le vent. Et oui, c'était une rêveuse. Elle s'est perdue dans l'humour, dans l'art et la musique. D'un coup, elle était là, en classe, en pleine discussion. Et d'un coup, elle n'était plus. Elle était ailleurs. On entendait si souvent ce mot. Tu es ailleurs. Reviens, arrête d'être ailleurs. Et on la ramenait bien le souvenir. Lave-toi les mains, disait la voix. Frotte comme ceci, frotte comme cela, 2 pompes de savon, le pouce gauche, puis ne cours pas, tu te casseras la jambe. Oh oui, c'est vrai, l'hôpital, l'ambulance, ça fait peur. Surtout, ne t'approche pas de l'herbe, de la boue, des bestioles. Apprends, répète, contre toi, Félicité. Elle n'a que 10 ans. On s'inquiète pour elle. Elle est triste, dépressive à cause d'eux. Ça va être un traumatisme, un problème familial, l'adolescence. Appelez les parents. Il faut l'aider, oui, il faut l'aider. Pourtant, Félicité ne veut pas d'aide. Elle se sent bien. Elle se tient à carreau et au millimètre près. Elle le sait car elle a pris le temps de mesurer maintes et maintes fois la distance qui la séparé du contour. Elle est toute propre car elle s'est lavé les mains 100 de fois et tout est parfait. Ou pas. À l'âge de 12 ans, elle arrive désormais à les contrôler ces choses-là. Mais qu'en est-il de la mort? D'être oubliée, négligée, même sa grand-mère ne songe pas encore. Mais Félicité a soif. Elle ne peut ne pas savoir. Elle ne peut faire un pas sans savoir ce qui suivra. Elle ne peut vivre avec l'idée qu'un jour, au petit matin, ou Dieu sait quand, elle mourra. Sous le poids de cette révélation, la petite craque. L'air ne pénètre plus ses poumons, son cœur bat la chamade. Elle tombe, avalée par un abîme. Non, s'accrocher à la vie. Respire doucement, ma chérie. Appelez les urgences. C'est bon, c'est maman. On est sauvée. Elle se réveille à l'hôpital, mais son corps épuisé reste allongé. Ne vous inquiétez pas, votre fille est en très bonne santé. Elle avait une petite crise d'angoisse. Ces phrases, elle les entendra souvent. Elle reviendra régulièrement à l'hôpital. On prescrira des médicaments, toujours pas assez. On recommandera alors le yoga, un régime alimentaire, des vacances. Rien ne marche. Plus d'espoir. Et un jour, elle ne retournera pas chez elle avec ses parents. Elle restera là, enfermée, limitée. Ça l'aidera, avait-on dit, elle ne sera pas seule. La vie de Félicité reprit son cours. Ils se mettaient en rond, elle et les autres enfants, chaque matin. On parlait beaucoup de la mort ici. L'un disait que c'était l'incertitude qui alimentait sa peur, d'autres la douleur, et d'autres encore le manque, la frustration de ne pas avoir fait assez. Et on leur disait aussitôt que c'était normal, que c'était pour eux une réalité insaisissable, impalpable, et qu'il fallait impérativement se calmer, se contrôler, encore. Sinon, prendre antidépresseurs et anxiolytiques. Elle les avala, année après année, et perdit avec chaque goutte ses rêves et ses délires d'enfance. C'est alors à 16 ans qu'elle se demanda « Est-ce ça être en vie ?» Finalement, je ne suis pas là pour raconter l'histoire d'une fille qui s'est bourrée d'anesthésie jusqu'à la fin, comme on le lui aurait demandé. Non. Au contraire, imaginez la petite Félicité qui se tient devant vous et qui vous dit sur des la mort n'est pas aussi cruelle que la peur de la mort, qui vous attache les bras et qui vous vole ce que vous possédez le plus cher, la vie. Merci.
What's up, guys? My name is Ioane, and first of all, I'd like for you to applaud Defne because it takes some courage to talk about it. Now, what if I was to bash Defne's head open with an axe and leave her bleeding in her own apartment? That's the questions, and that's the book of crime and punishment. What drives someone to kill in cold blood? What goes through the murderer's mind? And what kind of society breeds such people? Those are the questions that Dostoevsky, Fyodor Mikhailovich took and wrote one of the best books in Russian literature, Crime and Punishment.
The novel tells the story of Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov. He's a young law student in St. Petersburg who lives in abject poverty and he ran out of funds to continue his studies. And the letters from his rural home only add to his distress when he realizes how much his sister and mother have sacrificed for his success, only for him to fail. Now, he grew increasingly desperate when he sold his few valuables to an elderly pawnbroker. He grew even more desperate after he resolved on a plan to murder her and also rob her. Now imagine if I were to kill Saruman. If I were to kill Ioane, my thoughts and actions would be similar to the ones Dostoevsky wrote while narrating Raskolnikov's downfall. I won't do it though. They say that the novel is sometimes cited as one of the first psychological thrillers, but if I'm being honest, it kind of sucked, because Raskolnikov didn't have the right skills to be a murderer, nor a criminal. He just sucked, basically, that's it. You probably should have binge-watched some crime show, because I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys here can be better murderers than Raskolnikov. Or even if you couldn't kill someone and get away with it, I think it would be better to get a good lawyer at least, you know what I mean? Dostoevsky's vivid prose, the series prose, brings 19th century St. Petersburg back to life by the way he describes the dank taverns, dilapidated apartments, and claustrophobic police stations. But it's also because of the characters, because we introduced to characters such as Marmeladov, who is a former official who drank his family into ruin, or Svadrigailov, who was a lecherous nobleman who got consumed by his own desires. But it doesn't end there. Dostoevsky explores the dangers of urban life. I'll give you guys a small biography about Dostoevsky. He was in love with the idea of reform and socialism. He used to read imperially banned books that were way too radical, and because of that he got sent to the Gulag. And the novel Common Punishment follows a bit of the same narrative thread, a young life seduced by the dangers of the urban life. And Raskolnikov rationalizes his crime as a mere benefit to the society. He thinks that by echoing his egoism and utilitarianism, he thinks he can just get away with everything. He cuts himself off from his own humanity, he disconnects his moral taboos, and he just thinks he can get away and not face the consequences. I apologize for the Russian speakers in advance because Dostoevsky said, «Боль и страдания всегда неизбежна для фальшивого ума и глубокого сердца», which means that pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large heart and a big brain, basically. But people sometimes forget the end of this quote because it goes like, «Действительно великие люди должны, я думаю, иметь великую печаль на земле», which means that the really great men, I think, must have the greatest sadness on earth. Even though this book is cited as a moral book, it never comes off nearly moralizing because each character is given a unique voice. They have unique voice, they give more depth to the narrative. And even though the central murder was revealed in the first 50 pages of the book, it's because of Dostoevsky's gripping account that we can just stay true by the book. Through this journey, we discover the truth of human nature and the human side, and the possibility of redemption of Raskolnikov. In conclusion, Dostoevsky just did a good job writing this book, and I hope you guys get a copy, sit down somewhere and read it with the doors closed, just in case.
Vous ne pouvez pas être parfait et vous devez accepter vos imperfections afin de vivre pleinement la vie et de profiter de ce qui est beau. Tout d'abord, vous ne pouvez vraiment pas toujours être parfait. La perfection signifie quelque chose de différent pour tout le monde. Pour certains, cela peut signifier obtenir des scores parfaits à un test. Pour quelqu'un d'autre, danser la danse parfaite. Ou peut-être que cela signifie être parfait moralement, à l'intérieur. Quand j'avais peut-être 10 ou 11 ans, je suis passée par une étape où j'étais obsédée par la perfection. Je me disais en chuchotant que le lendemain, je serais absolument parfait dans tout ce que je ferais. Cela signifiait sourire tout le temps, toujours penser à des belles pensées, marcher comme un robot en fine ligne droite, écrire proprement de mon cahier à l'école. La liste est longue. Certaines de ces choses sont étranges. Elles ne sont pas à ce quoi la plupart des gens pensent quand ils pensent à la perfection. Mais à mes yeux, C'est ce que cela signifie d'être parfait, et la perfection ne concerne vraiment que ce que la personne à l'intérieur voit et pense. Au monde qui m'entoure, qui se soucie si je marchais en ligne droite partout? Il ne s'agissait que de ce que je voyais et pensais de moi-même. Quoi qu'il en soit, je me disais ceci tout le temps, et pendant les premiers instants du lendemain, j'étais parfait. Mais bien sûr, comme prévu, je ferais quelque chose de mal. Peut-être que je placerais mon pied au mauvais endroit, ou crierais, ou ferais quelque chose de mal. Faux, faux, faux. Et le monde s'écroulerait dans ma tête, et je me détesterais avec un dégoût amer. Et je criais et hurlais parce que c'était recommencé, et je savais au fond de moi que je ne pourrais jamais être parfaite. Mais cette notion était toujours étouffée par l'autre plus fort qui me disait d'essayer à nouveau demain. Je ne donnais tout simplement pas tout et que je n'étais pas assez bonne. Dans cet état de choses, j'ai vécu pendant un bon moment. C'était de la colère et de la tristesse constante. J'ai essayé de faire quelque chose que je ne pouvais pas faire. C'était impossible. Ce sont toutes les bonnes voies à la fin qui m'ont aidé à traverser cette terrible période. Il y avait ma mère, mon père, mes sœurs, mes amis et mes professeurs, et toutes les autres personnes gentilles que ce monde vous apporte, et toutes leurs voix combinées, me disant que c'était normal que je ne puisse pas le faire, que je n'avais pas à être tout cela, qu'ils m'aimaient et que j'étais assez bonne comme j'étais. Leurs voix ont couvert le mauvais et l'ont finalement éteint. Donc ici, je ne dis pas que la perfection est inaccessible. Dans certaines choses, ce n'est pas le cas. Il y avait Nadia Comaneci avec le 10 parfait en gymnastique après tout. Mais je vous dis tout cela pour tous ceux d'entre vous qui ne peuvent tout simplement pas atteindre la perfection. Je vous dis que c'est normal, que vous n'avez pas à continuer d'essayer, car dans de nombreux cas, essayer d'être parfait vous réduira au désespoir. Deuxièmement, vous devez accepter vos imperfections afin de profiter de la vie. J'ai passé tellement de temps à m'inquiéter d'être parfaite. J'ai perdu tellement de temps à m'haïr parce que je n'étais pas parfaite. Toutes ces fois, ma tête était remplie de mensonges, parce que pendant que j'étais occupée avec ce genre de choses, le monde se passait à l'extérieur. Les feuilles des arbres poussaient, devenaient vertes, puis s'épanouissaient dans des teintes vives de rouge et d'orange, et cela me manquait. Même si je veux que vous fassiez tous de votre mieux pour autant que vous le pouvez, je pense aussi qu'il y a beaucoup à dire pour prendre du recul. Sortir de votre esprit et profiter du monde qui vous entoure. Certaines choses dans la nature pourraient être proches à la perfection. Et pourquoi ne pas vous en réjouir plutôt que vous déchirer parce que vous ne l'êtes pas? Tout cela se résume à la fin de la journée, quand vous êtes sur votre lit de mort, quand je suis dans le mien. Si vous pensez que vous pouvez atteindre la perfection, très bien. Mais alors, que se passe-t-il si vous ne pouvez pas? Et si, après tout ce temps d'essai, vous ne pouvez tout simplement pas le faire? Parce que cela arrive, vous savez, les gens qui ne peuvent pas faire les choses. Qu'allez-vous revoir dans ce tourbillon de jours passés? Allez-vous vous voir sourire, vous, brisé, qui ne pouvez jamais marcher en ligne droite tout le temps, et qui pouvez être d'accord avec cela, qui pouvez profiter de la beauté et même parfois de la perfection du monde qui vous entourait, qui était heureux à cause de cela? Donc, pour tous ceux d'entre vous qui ne peuvent pas trouver ces voix gentilles qui disent la vérité quand votre tête est pleine de mensonges, en ce moment dans leur vie, j'espère que cela vous a aidé juste un tout petit peu à savoir que vous êtes assez.
We're about to project a document on the wall with 6 words that are related to our speeches. They may seem a little weird, but that's what it's about. And what you're supposed to do is write a story, a short story using these 6 words. You will later be given a box that will be passed around, and you're supposed to put your paper back in the box. And then we will be reading 2 stories out loud, and yeah, just try to make it as weird as possible. Oh, well, we'll be reading 3 stories instead. So yeah, those will be the winners. Okay, bye.
Si vous avez fini, vous pouvez la mettre dans cette boîte.
my expectation was to achieve breathing for the first time. But I panicked because I felt guilty. For drinking blood. Your handwriting sucks.
Translate number one.
They expect.
Pick another one.
Of their blood. You blood. I went heavy. Who wrote this? Everyone expects me to breathe, to think, to see, to achieve. But it makes me only bleed emotions.
Panic attaches them. Those who attaches them. Those who wanted me to achieve. And then I only feel guilt for reaching the impossible, the expectations.
Now we are sadly on our last theme. We have 3 people waiting for us. The first one will be
please welcome Maria. She will make her speech in she will say it in Russian.
Then we'll have Tinatine, who will talk about the struggles of being a girl in society.
and finally we will have Jane who will do her whole speech in German. Thank you. Please welcome them all.
Hello everyone. I would like to thank all of you once again for coming here and giving us a little sprinkle of your time. And I'm going to be the one introducing the societal group today, and I'm going to be talking about prejudice and how it harms our society. Basically, before I start speaking, I'm going to give a brief summary to the ones who don't speak Russian. Basically, I'm going to be talking about what is prejudice, what are the main causes of prejudice, say media, or a positive or a negative experience, etc. Then I'm going to talk about the consequences of prejudice and how to prevent it. And in the end, I am going to conclude. So basically, before I start, I'm just going to give a couple of facts to you. Well, just one. So there is about 90 to 95% of people that deal with unconscious prejudice. Okay, let's begin. Уважаемые учителя, родители, ученики, друзья и родственники. Знаете, вот я люблю молоко. И я уверена, что вы его любите. Так ли? Сказав это, наверняка многие из вас подумали что-то подобное. Почему она думает, что нам всем нравится молоко? Если кому-то кажется, что его мнение насчет определенной темы очевидно для всех или самое правильное, то объективно это может быть не так. Вот я и решила как раз таки об этом поговорить. Уважаемые гости, сегодня я хочу вам объяснить, почему предрассудки вредят нашему обществу. Во-первых, что вообще такое предрассудки? По определению, предрассудки – это рассуждения, основанные без критического мышления. Кратко говоря, стереотипы. Давайте я приведу вам пример. У вас есть друг по имени Антон. Однажды он вам говорит: дешевая одежда просто не может быть качественной. свое мнение, не привел никаких аргументов и доказательств. Следовательно, и поделился с вами своим мнением, которое может быть основано на предрассудках насчет дешевой одежды. Предрассудки можно поделить на два простых типа. Положительный и отрицательный. Ваш прекрасный друг Антон помог вам узнать, что из себя представляют отрицательные предрассудки. Они обычно состоят из чрезмерно негативных мнений или ожиданий, а положительные, как говорится, с точностью наоборот. Они вносят... Нет. Хоть и наше общество обращает больше внимания на отрицательные предрассудки, потому что они вносят в себя дискриминацию, положительные предрассудки тоже встречаются довольно-таки часто. Теперь давайте-ка затронем тему главного источника предрассудков – наше окружение. То, чем мы окружены, и то, чему мы учимся от наших окружений, часто имеет влияние на наше мнение и на наши мысли. Например, медиа, то есть разные фильмы, которые показывают определенные стандарты красоты и так далее, или же определенный опыт, позитивный или негативный, который может привести к определенным мыслям. Если я продолжу о них разговаривать, мы точно задержимся здесь надолго. Поэтому и стоит перейти на последствия предрассудков. Довольно легко можно догадаться, какие последствия у отрицательных предрассудков. Они могут привести к бесчисленным конфликтам, к обидам, к разрушению отношений, потере возможности познакомиться с кем-то новым или же попробовать что-то новое, так как у нас столько негативных ожиданий и так далее. Отсюда и можно понять, что отрицательными предрассудками мы вредим и себе, и людям вокруг. Но не думайте, что положительные предрассудки чем-то лучше. С отрицательными предрассудками вы можете попасть в неприятную ситуацию. С положительными предрассудками вы тоже можете попасть в неприятную ситуацию, только чуть-чуть по-другому. С положительными предрассудками все еще есть тот же вред окружающим, но все-таки больше вы вредите себе. Много людей, даже я, например, сталкиваюсь с в кавычках ловушкой красоты. Это, допустим, когда вы смотрите на кого-то или на что-то и думаете, что раз это что-то красивое или это кто-то красивый, тогда этому можно доверять. То, что чаще всего бывает довольно-таки большой ошибкой, так как есть огромное количество преступников, которые используют красивые вещи и свою красоту для того, чтобы заманить людей, потом их ранить, грабить и убивать. Также менее вредные последствия будет разочарование из-за слишком высоких ожиданий и чрезмерного оптимизма, но все-таки это все равно может иметь очень сильное влияние на психику. Теперь появляется вопрос, раз уж предрассудки создают нам столько проблем, тогда как вообще можно от них избавиться? И я здесь для того, чтобы предложить вам решение. В тот момент, когда вы начинаете судить что-то без критического мышления, постарайтесь проанализировать, знаете ли вы что-то вообще про эту тему. Так как чем меньше мы знаем про что-то, тем больше у нас есть шанс ошибиться и сказать что-то неправильное. Никогда не спешите с выводами, не поняв до конца, о чем вы говорите и о чем вы думаете. Также постарайтесь бороться со страхом и нежеланием делать что-то. Хотя бы даже, допустим, в маленьком возрасте. Наверняка ваши родители вам говорили что-то похожее, когда заставляли вас есть полезную еду. Не попробуешь, не узнаешь. Так вот и почему не использовать подобные методы для того, чтобы бороться с предрассудками.
Я как раз это и рекомендую. И решая эту проблему, я прошу вас не винить себя, если не получится с первого раза, так как предрассудки — это довольно-таки эволюционная вещь, и мы с ними встречались на протяжении всей нашей жизни и использовали предрассудки для того, чтобы выживать. Но надо все-таки учесть, что от 90 до 95% людей подвержены неосознанным предрассудкам. В заключение я бы хотела вам кое-что сказать. Дорогие гости, не думайте, что вы не в силе преодолеть предрассудки. Просто не делайте необоснованных выводов. Иногда полезно проверять источники, направленные на формирование мнения о чем-то или о ком-то. Давайте бороться с бесполезными выводами и сделаем мир хоть на чуточку лучше.
What it's like being a girl. To be honest, I had a hard time starting this speech because I didn't know where or how to start. Since there's just so many things to say about this. But regardless, I still choose to do so and address this topic because I think it is important and deserves to be more spoken of. I feel, and I'm sure all of you agree, that it's sad and disappointing that we still are obligated to discuss gender inequality, discriminations, norms, stereotypes, respect, acceptance, and violence in the 21st century. It's frustrating to come to the realization that after all these years, so little has changed and evolved, or at least not enough. For me, and I think for all of you as well, these discomforts are unacceptable. It's enraging and upsetting that we have to face this on a daily basis. Although now it seems as we're sadly getting more and more used to it, at times it feels like those things start to be less shocking. But then every time something more and more horrible things happen in my town, my country, or somewhere around the world, that conflicts my position. We live in an unfair, unbalanced, and messed up world. So before I get back to the main idea of the speech, what it's like being a girl, I want to highlight the fact that I know we're not the only ones suffering these inequalities, discrimination, norms, and stereotypes, and that boys and men experience it too. But here today, I chose to talk about my case since I feel like I'm adequate enough to do so. Because the things I'm going to talk about today sadly appear at a very young age in our lives. Things like discriminating us, shaming us, objectifying us, inferiorizing us, telling us what to do, what to wear, how to talk, how to walk, what to be calm and nice, dress and act like a girl. There are just so many things that I could never understand, one of them being that why and how is it that after all these years, the mindset of some people hasn't changed. Stereotypes, it all starts innocently by girls should wear pink and girly clothes. Then they should behave well, be more appealing, feminine, beautiful. We're told we're overly emotional and weak. Housewives like to gossip. They still think that our role in this life is the same. Some even say, and I quote, that we belong in the kitchen. Our only role and duty in this life is to cook, clean, raise, and take care of the children. That's it. And you want to know the best part? Some still say that this woman stay at home all day doing nothing. They don't work. By that, they clarify that they don't have a job, they don't make money, so of course they do way less than men. They say that they're not as hardworking as they are, as men are. We can't be fully devoted to our work since we have or can have children. We're not as clever or we're not as clever as they are. Sorry. So their solution, we get paid less for doing the exact same work. Statistically, around 15 to 20% of women get paid less than men for some reason. But why do we need our money, right? We have husbands support us. There's more. Family products that are a necessity to all women and young girls are sold to women are at a higher price, and they are shockingly expensive. But not all women can afford this. So what do they do, huh? Don't they get a say in this? Abortion is legal in 24 countries in this world. We can't even decide what to do with our bodies now. We're either too fat, too skinny, too curvy, or too flat. We're either asking for it or letting ourselves down. When are we good enough? If there is one thing that really gets on my nerves, then it has to be the famous phrases like, you wouldn't understand your girl. Don't wear revealing clothes or their sales. Don't be too loud, don't talk too much. Don't be dramatic all the time. There's plenty more. After all of this, they are still surprised that we are not confident and comfortable in our own minds we are not comfortable in our own skin, bodies, and minds. Why is it that we are scared of walking alone at night? Why do we carry pepper sprays and teasers, or even make fake phone calls? Why do we always have our locations on? Why do we cover our cups in public places or cover ourselves around men? When did this fear of getting harassed, raped, dropped, violated begin? When did doing all of this become innocent? Around 36% of women have experienced either sexual or physical violence. What's worse is that most of it are from friends, family members, or people that no one trusts. Then comes the question, is it my fault? Am I the problem? Because that's what they keep telling us. They tell us, boys will be boys, what did you expect? Why is this phrase normalized and accepted? Why do they still keep blaming us for it? Why? Who? How? There are an infinity of questions, but not enough solutions. Thank you.
Seit 50 Jahren ist der Strom ein unsicheres Thema. Wir wissen, dass die fossilen Brennstoffe, das wir benutzen heute, können wir nicht benutzen. Man nennt das die nicht verlängerbare Ressource. Also suchen wir eine langlebige Lösung. Diese Lösung ist entscheidend, weil die Klimakrise und die Situation am Welt schlechter und schlechter wird. Heute werde ich sprechen über die Winterlichen. Now, before I lose you, all of you, my audience, and while I still have your attention, I'd like to switch to English. As a tribute to a chapter that we learned this year in German, I would like to talk about a theme that affects us all in equal measure. Renewable energy sources. Precisely, I will take a look into Germany's efforts and success and further plans into creating a carbon-neutral energy extraction. I will talk about wind energy. For decades now, Germany has been making a conscious effort to install wind turbines, colossal machines and apparatuses, all across its coasts, at sea, and on the field. These mighty machines take mechanical energy extracted from wind and transform it into electricity, and they're thus able to supply an entire population. 46% of Germany's entire energy is sourced through clean energy resources. Furthermore, 25% are sourced with wind, using those wind turbines. By 2050, the plan is to create a carbon-neutral society, which means eliminating such things as nuclear energy and being left with wind energy and other clean energy sources. Now, only 0.8% of Germany's land is approved for installing wind turbines. Nevertheless, this is an immense number because there are approximately 30,000 wind turbines all across Germany. Now, I've talked about wind turbines and how great they are, but they come with some disadvantages, of course, as everything in this world does. First of all, they are quite large, and their size makes them unversatile, and they can only be installed in large areas. Furthermore, they are big and create pollution, meaning noise pollution and visual pollution, of course. And this disturbs populations as well as species such as birds and bats, who will oftentimes fly into the blaze of these wind turbines and meet their deaths. They are dangerous and they are sometimes intermittent, meaning that they are only functional and they can only be used and they can only produce energy when there is wind. What I mean to say, with all this in mind, is that there are no ideal, no perfect, no miracle solutions. However, we must adapt our habits, and we must adapt the way that we source our energy, taking the example of Germany, for instance, and other examples. Now, to create a better future, we should use all of this that I have said. Und jetzt auf Deutsch. Deutschland hat einen Plan für die Zukunft Kursentwicklung formuliert. Bis 2050 wird es CO2-neutral, wobei Windenergie einen Großteil der Energiequellen ausmachen wird. Heute 46% aller Energie kommt aus sauberer Energiequelle und 25% stammt aus Wind. Die Windräder können installiert sein sowohl im Meer als auch am Land. Die Blätter dieser Windräder erzeugen mechanische Energie und umwandeln in Elektrizität. Die Windturbinen haben dennoch mehrere Nachteile. Sie sind ziemlich groß und lassen sich nur in großer Leere installiert sein. Sie verursachen Verschmutzung, visuelle, und sie sind sehr, sehr laut. Dann sind sie gefährlich für Vögel und Fledermäuse, die fliegen manchmal in die Blätter und sterben. Die Windräder produzieren Energie nur als es gibt Wind. Abschließend möchte ich sagen, dass es gibt keine ideale Lösung, aber wir müssen verwenden eine Kombination von alle saubere Lösungen, die wir haben, und unsere Gewohnheiten verbessern. Dankeschön für Ihre Achtung. Thank you all for your attention. Goodbye. Well, as a conclusion to today's event, Maria, Tinatine, and I have prepared a quiz for you as a little activity to remember this day and this occasion and, of course, our 3 speeches. So I will hand the microphone over to Maria and she will present the rules to you.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm back again. So can you show us the next slide, please? true or false. And we're going to have 9 finalists and 1 winner. You have to raise your hand as fast as possible when you think you know the answer. We are going to pick the first individual to have raised their hand. Wait for the microphone before speaking so we can hear you. If your answer is correct, tell us your name and last name.
These are all the amazing speeches we have prepared for you.
Hope you enjoyed.
We would like to thank our classmates, Nino, Mika, and Mete, who worked days and nights to bring this project to you. You don't actually understand how many documents there are to sign and how many teachers we have to talk to. And they also provided all the snacks in the back waiting for you. But also, let's give them a round of applause for using it.
Thank the 9 participants. They weren't afraid to share their deepest secrets and opinions. They came before you presenting the speeches after working for weeks, discussions in groups, and with fun activities.
On the stage right now, please come up on the stage and let's give it a round.
We would like to thank Sarvan who had this brilliant idea of this event and dedicated her classes and time to it.
Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you all the second because actually it was their work. I didn't do anything. They did the organization, they did the presentation, they did the speeches, they did the activities. All I did was give them ideas. So well done. A big round of applause again for the second.
And lastly, we would like